outgoing expenses and more, it's more about the income, like, you know, the expense. What is there QuickBooks, online QuickBooks coordination?
Hey, yeah.
Wondering if I should set that up or just keep everything within MemberClicks.
That's a great question.
Deal with it. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, just to let you know, I started recording our call, if that's okay, so I can send it to you after. Is that okay?
Sure, that's great.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, so I can tell you what I see most of the time. Like, I can tell you best practices. It doesn't mean you have to do any of them. So
sure.
I would say, as far as the financial system goes, QuickBooks is the best to work with MemberClicks because you can pull out a transaction report and you can import it into QuickBooks with your account. So that's really cool.
Okay.
Some setup items that go hand in hand with that. If you do set up QuickBooks, I'll need the name of the revenue accounts that you set up because I'm going to set them up in MemberClicks. The revenue account names have to be the exact same.
Okay.
And then you're also going to want the people that are paying to be the same in MemberClicks as they are in QuickBooks as well, which is fine if MemberClicks is basically when you do an import, create kind of accounts in QuickBooks for those individuals that are paying.
So if I'm starting clean, I should not people. I just have them entered from MemberClicks exports.
Exactly what I would.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Yeah, I won't enter any people manually into QuickBooks. I'll only do it through export. Okay, let me. I need to type this in so that I don't forget. I can't remember anything after minutes these days. I just turned 51, and so the memory is out the door. Okay, so name.
I think it has more. I think it has more to do with the amount of which people expect us to remember.
Okay,
there we go.
I do have a lot on my plate right now. So okay, so this is a note to myself. I know you can do this, but do not enter basically clients, right, or members in QuickBooks. Instead, export. So we'll be exporting from MemberClicks to create customer accounts. And track income. Okay, got it. Yay. Okay, next question is about the library. I don't know what you guys call it, the archives or okay, I'm not understanding. So I've been watching these videos and I'm not understanding how you use the word article.
Oh. Yeah, article is just a page of content on the website. So on your website, you're not going to have anything there. But I think I've got too much going on here. It's been mad at me. So across here, this would be like of your main menu structure. Now this is going to look different depending on the template that you choose. So basically, if there was a thing right here that said about, and I clicked on it, it would take me to a page of information about your association. That page of content, we call them articles.
Okay, page of content, and there are pages of content that are hosted by MemberClicks. Not, do you still call it an article if it's like going somewhere else?
So it would be like an external link if it was going somewhere else.
Okay, so when it's an article, we're talking about a page we build here within this website.
Yeah.
Okay, page of content.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have to get that language down. So I think you answered this last time.
That's okay.
Okay, but I'm trying to think about what areas of content, and I think you mentioned that we'd want to create, we don't want to have pages split by access, that basically articles, right, that would, okay, so if I'm talking about the total library of content, right, which is essentially, some of it would be articles, as you call it, some of it would be pages, but most of the time, the article would be a listing of different things with links to content. As we set this up, the articles should be, or your pages should be, if you want access for certain member groups, we want to do it by article, not by individual content. Isn't that what you explained last time? Do you know what I mean?
So let's back up for just a second. So like I brought us to an example site that I did a little while ago. I think they have a very good looking site. They got a lot of widgets that are great. So anything down here on the right hand side is what we would call widgets. They have all kinds of different widgets that they've created in here.
Wait, are you on, I see a membership dashboard on your screen. Is that what you're showing me?
How about now?
It hasn't changed.
I wonder if it's frozen.
There we go. It's just slow.
You good?
Yep. Let me make sure I'm on the right internet. Yeah, I am. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
So this is a completed website that I did a while ago. And so down along the right-hand side, it says like links, upcoming events, our partners. These are what we call widgets. All along the right-hand side. You may also hear them referred to as modules. The difference between a widget and a module is a widget is something you can change. A module is something we have to change for you. For example, these are partners. You can change these. It's called a widget. Our tweets, we would have to change this. This is a module.
Okay.
Going back up to the top, we have your main menu in this blue bar across the top. If we wanted to go to an article, I could click on any of these main menu items, and it's going to take us to a page of content, or an article is what we would call this.
Okay.
By your member type. So
okay.
Traditionally, somebody might have an individual member type, a student member type, lifetime member type, a board member type maybe. And maybe you want the student to not see some information. Maybe they need some additional information on some institution in the area, or some colleges or something. So then you could have specific articles that would only show up if I was a student. So if I was a student and I was logged in, I might all of a sudden see a tab over here that says students, and then a lot of information under that tab that I could access. So we can create permission.
Okay, so articles are permission based, and menu items are permission based.
They're both permission based, exactly.
New items are, so basically they don't even show up base. The menu, either of them, either the article or the menu, don't even present themselves if.
Exactly.
Okay.
What a lot of my associations like to do is they'll permission the menu item on if it's a member material. And if somebody clicks on it, a non-member clicks on it, it'll say you don't have permission to see this. So it's almost like they're kind of baiting.
Right.
Well, I want to see it. I want to be a member, so that's kind of what they're trying to accomplish. But if it was more internal, like students, right, it would maybe don't want it to clutter up an individual or lifetime members page because it's information that doesn't apply to them. So in that case, we just kind of create a special tab.
So we could do either. That's not a global thing. We can with each one. Some can be set to not show up, and others can show up but not have permission.
Yeah.
Or show up because they do have permission. But
yeah.
Basically, okay. So we've got that choice. with every menu item. Do we have that same choice for articles?
Yes.
Or is that only show up or not? Same choice.
Same thing. So you can set the
Okay.
permission.
Okay, great. Alrighty. Okay, so then kind of back to the question. Then let me give you some examples. So we've got over 2,000, I'm going to use the word article, but it's not what you're talking about, right? Magazine articles that we will be categorizing and writing out the abstract so that the abstract is searchable.
Right. I remember that. Okay.
Now with that many going on, I mean, it's going to start small, but with that many going on, I don't want to like list 2,000 on one page. So I'm wondering if we should have each article, in your sense, each page of content be a certain category of article or year or something. But then here's the question. Everything needs to be searchable. So is the search feature only available on each individual article page, or is there a search feature that could search all article pages? Do you know what I mean? Does it
when you
search the whole
search,
site, or does it search, yeah,
it's going to search the whole site, but it will not search pages that are not published, that are not.
they don't have
Well,
access?
let's give it a go. Let's try it out. So let's try this out. What I'm going to do, I think I can probably see your site. I think I see what you're saying. So if I go to your site, there's a search. Okay, cool. So what I do on here, if I go to the back end of your site, I can create an article.
It's I'm definitely behind you and seeing, so just keep that in mind. I'm still on the Spin website.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, mine. There's no problem. Just know that if I'm like acting slow, it's because I'm not seeing what you're seeing yet.
Absolutely. No worries.
Okay.
No test article.
Okay.
We want to test on searching, and I'm just going to write in random things. Farm animals.
Okay.
The best and beyond. New homes. Okay. This seems really silly, but now what I'm going to do is I'm setting my group access, who gets to see this, and I'm going to save it, but I'm the menu because it's published on the front end. So I'm just wondering, if it's not published, can we still search it? So if I go back to the front end of your site, there it is. So it doesn't necessarily have to be linked somewhere to your website. I don't even have this linked anywhere, right? It's just built on the back end, and there's that page of information that I just created that was really silly.
Okay.
So
when you search it, what happens? It just says oh, but it's published. It just wasn't linked.
Correct.
Oh, interesting. Okay, got it.
If it was unpublished, nobody could search it.
It wouldn't be searched. Right.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, so now, so the searches are for the whole website. It doesn't matter. Is there a way to search, like if we, yeah, okay. I think I just need to kind of play around with the categories and how we want to load stuff. Okay, and I know I'm kind of getting caught in the weeds here, but I kind of want to really be clear on this before I put people on kind of converting the info, because this is the biggest value of the site, is access to these archives, because it's essentially a library, right? So
right.
Yeah, so this is like the biggest piece in understanding that organization. Okay, I think what I need to do is I think I need to just kind of work out some ideas in my head, and then I'll come back and ask you, like, if we do it this way, what would be the challenges? Do you have any suggestions regarding, let's say there are 2,000 actual PDFs. Is it best to break them up on different categorized pages, or just leave them all in one big thing where the search gets them to what they need? I mean, thousands of, I don't know.
I think it would be easier if, it's hard to know without, so like what I see most often is I'm trying to think of a good example. What I see most often is you would have like a member resources tab, and then you might have like member resource, like then you kind of have it broken out into like the different subjects of resources, like I don't know.
Webinar versus, magazine articles versus that. You mean that kind of thing?
Yeah. You archive webinars or webinars,
yeah, that's
like newsletters.
We have about 100 of those.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, they're already on Vimeo, so we're talking about just links too.
So you know what you could do? We can hold up to a submenu, like a tertiary menu. So what you could do is when you go here, so it'd be like member resources, and then it would be like, and then what I'm thinking is it could be like library, and then you go to the library page, and like automatically it could have every single type, like subject of what they're looking for. Of course, they could search it, but if somebody just wanted to browse, you could have like a full library alphabetically.
Right. Having some sort of structure to it is good for browsing.
Yeah, and then they can click on, so like let's use my silly example, and the 3 were like farm animals, the Beth and Beyond, a new home. You could like be like, oh, I want more resources on new homes, and then they would click it, and then it would take them to another article, all of the different resources you have on new homes.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's good. Yeah. Now I understand how we can do it. And just know that we have no expectation that that is going to be built anytime soon. That's going to be the slow build into next year, and it's just the minimum amount. I mean, we only really need a membership way to pay soon here, so we can do Black Friday renewals, and then our new members, and then in January, we hope to have, by January 1st, hope to have at least the skeleton, even if all the articles and stuff aren't loaded yet.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Is that good?
Yeah, I think that sounds really good.
Okay, that was really helpful. Now I can visualize it and start working on the categories. I think I'm going to, I think I'm going to talk to a few people to see how they search to help me, Sharon, because I think on our end, it's easy to catalog things by magazine type and the year it was published, or webinar, who was the source. But that actually isn't how people would want to search or browse. That gets them lost in years. And that's part of the problem with how it is now. It'll be like 2013 webinars, and it's a list of the 12 webinars. And I don't think that's the intuitive way for the user. I think they want to be like Roman shades. Now I want to know everything, webinars, articles, you know, on the particular type of window treatment.
Right.
I think that's how we should, because I think that gets people more excited about browsing than just looking at years and titles of magazines.
I totally agree. I couldn't agree more.
Okay. Okay. All right. That was helpful to talk through. Thanks for just letting me talk.
You're totally fine.
Okay. Let me see. So that checks off that. That's my Wunderlist checklist. QuickBooks Online, we answered that one. Do you use Wunderlist? I love that app. Okay. Let's see, other questions here. Okay. Now, so we have this special need regarding the archives that are in vBulletin. So I don't know if at some point I could reach out to, and maybe it's you, reach out to somebody to talk about our options as far as, I know I have to talk to the vBulletin people about how can we make a single access or something so that
Talking about like a
the
single
vBulletin
sign-on?
forum, the old forum. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're fine.
You know what? I think I just figured out that I really need to talk to vBulletin first. I think I need to they can do as far as the access, and then I pull member clicks back in. Okay, let me just, I'm highlighting that and reminding myself to reach out to them.
That's a good idea, because I know that we can give them access, and you're going to have to hear these conversations, but I'm usually not the one having them directly, so I'm like still kind of picking up some of the terminology from from a website standpoint of view. But like, I know that we can give access to our API, and so if they have the ability to use their API to create a single sign-on, which I think is what you're referring to, then that means that when people sign into MemberClick, it's also giving them permission to sign into this third party and have access to the bulletins or whatever there. So yeah, if you just make sure that they can do that, we can. So you can make sure that they can, and then I'll just be able, I think all they would need the info, which I could just provide to them.
Okay, so our goal there is to provide what did you call it? Sites,
single
right?
sign-on. It's a single
Single
sign-on.
sign-on. Single sign-on was the term I used with them. Okay, great. Okay, so I've got to deal with that first. Okay, and then blog. We do want to add a blog, and I don't know whether we should do it within, I don't know if you have a thing or if we would, I think I asked you this question before, I just didn't write it down. If I should be using WordPress and then putting the link in there.
Yeah, so we can definitely have a blog. And we have something we can host that. When you are talking about a blog, are you creating pages of that blog somewhere else, or are you going to be creating them in MemberClick?
Well, okay, so I don't know yet because we haven't started the blog. And so I'm asking the question, again, best practices. Let me tell you what I probably want to do with the blog eventually. This is going to be one that I author. And if this, I think I just answered the question, because if this library in the end game turns into a non and it's run by a board, I don't want the blog to be something that goes with the library. other, you know what I mean? I might want to continue the blog on my own, and
Got it.
so I should just do it separately in WordPress.
You know what?
And then,
I would. That's a great point. Even if, like, transparently, if you guys for some reason wanted to continue with member clicks, I mean, you could bring all that information out, but then, like, you're going to have somebody else import it in, and that's not a problem for us on other sites.
Got it. Whereas if it was a WordPress thing, yeah. So if down the road, like if a nonprofit does this and all of a sudden they move to a different system, or I just don't want them to have it anymore, then okay. So
you'll
yeah.
always have control over that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Great.
Then I'm in personal control over it outside of. Okay. Yes. Keep separate. Okay. Thank you. Okay, that's it for my questions. I had fun. I looked through the templates and decided on a template.
On those, or was it just
No,
easy for you to?
no. I just was playing around with it, and there's as long as actually, if you don't mind, if we can go there.
To the template.
I've got to figure out where I put my notes on the template.
I think it's member clicks portfolio.
Oh, what did I do with it? Okay, hang on 1 second. Get to a file here. I had to open up a PowerPoint. Okay. It's the one that has the American Association of Veterinary Laboratory Diagnosticians.
What's it called? The template.
I have to look at the thing again because I didn't write it down. I can, let's see, get to the website. Let me add a page in the book here. Okay, I'm going to member clicks. What's the page that has the?
It should be memberclicks.com/portfolio.
Got it. Okay. I think it was Marietta, but oh, there it is. Okay, Marietta customer example 1.
Okay.
So I guess it's Marietta. And so the header bar, like the colors are changeable, right?
Yes, we will specify that to your logo.
Okay. And all right, so I'm set on that. That's definitely the website template.
So in that design document that I should have sent you, it'll have a place for you to write that in at, and then it'll have a couple of questions for you to
Okay. All right. I'll move through that. All right. I'm done with my questions then.
Awesome. Well, let's just do a little intro to the system. I'm sure we'll have to do this again at some point, but let's go ahead and jump in so we can start having a little bit of fun.
Okay.
So you should be seeing my screen. Can you see it? It should be like a dash.
I see. It says, oh, now I do. Article manager? No, membership dashboard.
Perfect. Exactly. So when you log into the back end of the site, this is the page that you're going to be brought to. This is just the home page. When you click on the home icon up here in the top left-hand corner, this is what you're going to.
Okay.
And so this is divided up into a couple of different dashboards. Everything that we're going to go over right now is like just a snapshot of detail, so you can drill into more detail, more information in different tabs of the system. This is just a great place for you to jump in here and say what's going on, and then you can see quickly.
Okay.
So current membership roster, this over time is going to list out the different member types you have and how many individuals on each member type. We'll also be able to follow individuals from either active to graced to lapsed. So if they're in an active status, that means they are in their renewal period. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It's so rainy here today. It's been hard for me to wake up. I'm sorry. So if they're in active status, they'll be in the renewal period. If they don't pay their dues when they're in that renewal period, they're going to move to a grace period. And that grace period, at that time, it's kind of like a little bit of leeway. We talked a little bit about the notification document. I think we talked about this, but we said we would do that a little bit later. But anyways, that gives them more opportunity to renew their dues. They're not being kicked out of the system or anything. They're just in a grace period. And then lastly, they'll fall into a lapse status. And that means they're not going to be able to log into the system. They're past their renewal period. They're past their grace period. They're kind of like, you know what, man, you're kicked out. You need to pay your dues. For you, nothing will look different on the back end. They'll still be in their respective member type. They'll just be in the lapsed column. And then we just have new members in the last 90 days. That's just going to pull out the members that have joined in the last 90 days. And you'll be able to see those numbers and use them to email those individuals frequently and quickly, reiterating the membership benefits they're gaining by being a part of your association. We can click on any of these numbers as we see the numbers populate. We'll be able to click on them, and it's going to take us to a profile list of these individuals. We can do crazy cool stuff in here. We'll come back to this, probably not today, but maybe at a later time we'll come back to this.
Okay.
I went back to the home page just by clicking the home icon. Then you've got your event dashboards. These are going to pull from event registration forms. It's just going to show you the 3 most recent that have 3 upcoming events that are to come. So how many people have registered, the date that they will be held on, and I'm sorry, the event name, the date they will be held on, and how many people have registered, or of course how many people attended if it's a past event.
Okay.
Lastly, we have just financial dashboards. This is first one is going to show you ACE receivables. So that's how many invoices you have outstanding by how much money and how many days. So if your invoices are all current, you're going to have a big green bar in here, 1 to 30 days past, 31 to 61 plus days. And then lastly, over here on the right-hand side, we have our sales over time chart. So this is going to give us a line graph showing us how much money has been brought in per month per revenue account. So we can use the selection in the bottom right-hand corner to see how many. To select your revenue account, we'll choose a revenue account, and then that graph will adjust to the money, just all about that have your revenue account. But you haven't set up QuickBooks yet, right? So you'll have them at some point, but you don't have them yet.
Yeah.
Anything that spurred any questions on this page?
Yes. Hang on. To get to another. The purchase of one of the other networks that we're bringing in under this umbrella. They use, oh goodness, Hang on one second. Shoot. It's in an email. Hang on. I'm sorry. I thought I brought all this into one thing, but I must be missing it. Margie. There we go. Okay. Okay. They're using a membership. Let's see. They're using Get Response for eBlasts, which I think I'll just close. They're using, oh my goodness, a membership software called A Member. You ever heard of that?
I can't say that I have.
Okay. So I guess I'll kind of I'm going to get in there and kind of see what she's done and see if we want to export anything from there. But we are going to be. I think we talked last time about just starting with new things. Last time we talked, I didn't realize that she was actually using a membership software.
Okay.
But they're not renewing that membership.
When does their contract end?
With a member? I don't know. I'm going to find that out. Okay, let me just add that to my list. Okay, I'm good. I'm good with the financial dashboard.
Okay. Yeah, and so if the idea is that you would take all of her members and move them into yours, into MemberClick, is that what the idea would be?
I had talked myself out of it last time you and I talked, and but annual and all of them renewed in November. But turns out that she does have some on a monthly thing. So maybe, yeah, but there's probably less than 50 that are like that. So it might just be easier to manually kind of get them set up in here for anything that's continuing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we see where that contract ends, and then if they're already in a database and they're already in a system, I mean, it might be a good idea to just go ahead and bring them to MemberClick. I think last time
at least to add to the contact database, right? Even if we don't.
Yeah, but it would be really simple to add an organization with their linked individuals. It really wouldn't be a difficult process for me to import that. If she can export it from there, I could import it into MemberClick. I guess my thought on that is it's like,
I've got a note. She's got a service agreement until November 30th.
Oh.
Okay. So you're suggesting that we maybe export it and bring them in as groups or based on their current membership. There's only one type of member, I think. Well, there's two types in the current system because there were a very small group that was paying monthly and the bulk annual, but there was only like one level. There's not like different access levels. Or the two groups. And what did you say the type of file we're looking, is it CSV we're looking to export?
So I would import just an Excel file, but if you have a CSV, that's easy to make in Excel, just an XLS that I would use.
Okay, so yeah, I can export as an Excel file. I'm sure. I haven't gotten in there, but we'll be able to figure that out.
I think one thing we talked about was were just going to basically allow people to register through you. Is that what we talked about?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and that is what we want, but to, and she's going, and I guess initially it was have the email go out through the MailChimp account that she already has.
right.
Or through, I didn't realize she was using a member, or through a member. If that's expiring 11/30, I think I want to export those groups. And perhaps they don't renew, one comes from ours. Okay, so help me understand something. Would there be a bit to having everything come from us? Does that prevent, rather than having some come from the old contacts? Would there be less chance of somebody getting annoyed because our new reaching out to them again? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
so that's where the member click system is beneficial because it can keep track of who's renewed and who hasn't. So
and it won't be sending renewal reminders to people who already renewed, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's one bonus, and a
Yep.
lot of my associations, they'll send notifications out of or multiple planning, just sure, because like your emails are going to come from CRL or whatever acronym we decide to use for your association. Right now it's CRL. So if they're coming from MemberClicks, it's going to come from CRL.memberclicks or at memberclicks@mail.com or .net or something like that. So it's going to come from MemberClicks web address, and sometimes you kind of have to train your members, like, this is us, this is the email that you are supposed to be looking at. Sometimes they go to spam in the beginning, usually not, because we've done a lot to fight against that. But so anyways, in the beginning, yes, it means to send it out from MailChimp or other other member softwares, whatever it may be, just saying, hey, keep a lookout for emails from this web address. This is our new website. This is how we'll be communicating moving forward. And sometimes it's good to send them through both to make sure it's not going in their spam and they just never look for it. But then once you get them accustomed to that, then it's really, I think, in your best interest to just use MemberClicks. The best practice to just use MemberClicks because it kind of grooms them to expect the email address from MemberClicks, if that makes any sense.
Got it. But ultimately, we will be able to stop using MailChimp response, or I think the other organization uses something else. Okay, but it doesn't come like those other ones. It can't be sent from one of our email addresses.
And so, and the alias would mask the MemberClicks email address. So if you wanted to come, we could just create an e-list, and that's something we can talk later. But it can mask the MemberClicks email address. We could do that.
Okay, great. Helpful for other types of blasts, I think, that we don't. Yeah, like promotional stuff. Okay, so we can create an alias to email.
And I would say
Great.
So that's a pretty bonus. Being able to log into one place and do everything you need to do right there versus using a million different platforms to make it happen.
When it comes to events, we don't host events, but one of our big partners will, or does. Um, they right now are limping along with they do one trade share and are limping along with uh, uh, an event any event software. If I offered to do it through MemberClicks, it's like something with 200 attendees, and it'd be a big thing for us to have it run through our MemberClicks.
Yeah.
When it, so I could work out some sort of agreement with them how much it would cost them to run it through us. My question is, when you do event registrations, do you have the ability for people to sign up for particular seminars within it, or is it just a single event that they can sign up for?
We can definitely create a form where it could say, which of the following seminars would you like to register for? And then there can be different prices for each seminar. They check which ones they're interested in and not check the ones they're not interested in. Does that answer your question?
Yep, that does. Okay. A marketing partnership.
Yeah, and you can definitely run it through. You can definitely run the event then through your form. Just find that any person that's not a member of your association, or I should say any person that's not in your database that registers, will be recorded in your database as a prospect.
Right.
I don't know if you'd want that. It could be even.
Yeah, that would be the reason for doing it. I'd do it for free if they all come my prospects. You see what I mean?
Absolutely. And you can export that information and give it to that other person. So if they want the information as well, you could mail it
or
to them.
The sponsors, right? The sponsors might want it. The sponsors of her event, right, might want it. So, okay, that's great to know. And maybe actually, I know there's 2 event hosters that are doing small events that them invest in some sort of partnership. That's great. I love it. Okay.
And you know what? If you'll get like, if you like, blah blah blah, just say, well, send me your form. We'll create it for you. We'll send it in the past. I'll create them for you. See the link, and then you can test it. Let me know yes or no, or I like this or don't like this. But then ultimately we can send those links to them and they can test it themselves to see if they were process of taking our forms. So you just let me know, just send me and we can create that form.
Okay. Custom ones.
Cool.
Okay, great. I'm ready for the next thing. We are pushing an hour. I think I've monopolized.
No, this is
with other things.
And I know we're going to spend a lot more than 4 hours together, but like it's cool because, like I said, I don't want us to do any setup. I don't want to just go through training. I want to know what's important to you, and I want you to know the system before we start making setup.
Right.
Because we want to set it up correctly. We already schedule a time for our next call, or do you want to?
Yes, we did. It was Tuesday. And if you have suggestions of what videos to watch, so that I'm not wasting time just kind of with the browse, if you have suggestions of what videos to watch next before our next session, I'm happy to do that so that we can just kind of a browse.
Yeah, I'll send you the traditional follow-up email that I send after what I would call a database training. And there are usually some homework items from the database training. So I'm going to send you, you know what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
I've been meaning to do this forever and ever and ever anyway. I really have. I think what I'm going to do is I'll just make recordings of my traditional trainings and I'll just do it in the MemberClicks test site.
Okay.
And I'll do like database content, forms, and I've already got a social community, but I'll do those and I'll just send them to you. And if you want, you can watch them, but it's more so like our time together can be more so like exploring the system, setup items, discussion. If you feel
Okay.
like that, if you would like to learn that way. And
Yes. Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
And then if you,
I would love to do it that way.
cool. And if you ever are like, that training went way over my head, then I'll be like, all right, well, let's just do it again.
Let's dive in deeper on. Yeah.
Exactly. Cool.
Okay,
So
that's great. So I think we're set up for Thursday, the 26th, 4 p.m.
We sure are. We definitely are. I will try my hardest to get that recording done tonight. I do have calls until 8 tomorrow.
Well, and I mean, I've got a really busy day tomorrow, so I'm probably not going to look at anything till tomorrow afternoon. If it doesn't happen for this time, it's not a big deal. What I'll try to do is focus on the decisions that are already made. I'll fill out that form. Yeah, so we can start getting that going. Yeah. And if I have more videos to watch, then I can watch them late Wednesday night. If not, we'll weekend to kind of catch up and be ready for a focus session on Monday.
That sounds perfect. Yeah, I'll go ahead and send you some resources from our resource center, regardless of if I get my full training to you or not. So that way you can be around on those. And other than that, I just look forward to talking to you at 4 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday. And I just hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll talk to you Thursday.
All right. Thanks so much. Good talking with you.
Yes, ma'am. You too. Talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.